watched the movies and there was things that I didn't like, I was super critical. I was like, that sucks, or that, why are they doing that yet? So the first thought is, karma, right? So I was so critical of everybody else, then my fear was people are going to be critical of me if I don't get this right, So that was my first thing. I wanted to make sure that I did it service. So I did a lot of, and luckily working with the guys at Leg Efficacy Effects who created the suit, every chance that I got, I went up there and put it on and got to kind of work things out, for months. One of the things that I did not want to do is be Chewbacca, because he's not, and I didn't want anybody really to compare him in terms of, you're not this and you're not Peter, and he's not, and I think, I had a really good call with Angie, because right when I think the first episode came out, she called me and we had like a 2-hour-long conversation, and she said that she liked that fact. She liked the fact that I wasn't trying to copy him. So I think in that regard, it made it easier for me, because I did not look at his performance and say, I have to do this and that. It actually, the fact that it was this whole other character, I can create it and make it my own, and I didn't have to match anything. When you're matching something like Darth Vader or things like that, that's so iconic. You have to match him, because as a fan, you're like, that's not how he stood. That's not how he did this. And like I said, as a fan, I'm critical of that stuff. So the fact that he was new, actually, I was a little relieved. And in terms of like creating a character, like I didn't know that he was a thing until kind of I got into the character and speaking with Dave and Filoni, and he was like, and I met with him, and he was like, no, like Krrsantan is a thing. Like he has graphic novels, he already has a fan base, so once people see this, like, it's gonna blow up. And it didn't resonate with me. It honestly didn't. Like I said, I just wanted to do something that I felt was cool and good and great, whatever. So, and to say that you started off not liking him and stuff, that's what I liked about it. I liked his because it wasn't just flat, right? He had his sort of arc, and a lot of that comes through in terms of the graphic novels. It's the same thing. But I like the fact that when he first came out, he was a hired gun to kill Boba, and then later on he was hired by him, and I really leaned into that. So yeah, like in the beginning, I liked that, and I liked having the cuffs off and just fighting and fighting and being a bad guy, and all of a sudden being a good guy. And it's funny because I got that. What you said, I get a lot. They're like, I hated him, but now I love him. They're like, oh, good. It means that the writing was that's what they wanted, honestly.